Glenn Parker High Vibration Foundation. You are watching Glenn TV. Yay, thank you for joining me. So I debated to do this video. As a matter of fact, this was maybe a year ago. But I want to share my experience with you because I think it's really important to choose your banking relationships very carefully. And I think once you hear the story, I'd love to hear your comments where you think I'm like crazy or if you think that maybe that's just poor customer service. So on with the show. Yay. So I had an account like way back in the day, over 2 decades ago, that I opened at it was a Great Western, and then WAMU bought them, and then some time later, not quite sure how long, after the millennium if I'm not mistaken, Chase bought them, JP Morgan. So a JP Morgan bank. And I've never had really any issues with them. They've been very good. You know, they have the fees like everybody else has fees. They're pretty much equal to everything else. Always had a good banking experience when I went into any branch. But I had, way back in the day, I've had a lot of different types of bank accounts. I have a lot of business bank accounts back in the day with Great Western and WAMU. So when they did the merger, they merged a personal account, which I had had for a very, very long time. And somehow when it merged 2 accounts together. It merged an old closed business account that had DBAs and names on them. And my regular checking account, or one of them, had more than one. It merged those 2 together. And for a long time, that wasn't an issue for a very, very long time. Could never really get them to straighten it out. But about 2 years ago, they refused to send me a replacement ATM. They're like, well, you need the business paperwork for this business. I'm like, it's not a business, it's my personal account, which I've had for a zillion years. It's a fantastic banking reference. So I went in a couple different times, and I finally went into a branch here in Henderson, and I went into Chase, and I talked to the manager, and she's like, well, that's an interesting story. Let me see what I can do for you. And she's a very lovely person, and she took it upon herself to see if something could be done. Just fix it. You're the bank, and I mean, she examined it really closely. A couple people examined it really closely. They could see the issue. They could even see that it was improperly merged and tell me that the account wasn't properly merged. Well, yes, I know that, but thank you. I'm glad that you're acknowledging that. And then some time went on. She was going to see she was going to escalate it up to like a director level to see if somebody could go in and just push the right buttons and fix it. I've paid my fees. I've always been in good standing, blah, 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 blah. I'm a customer. I'm a good customer, and I have multiple accounts. Yet I get the following answer. Sorry, there's nothing we can do, but we'd be happy to close that and open a new account. I'm like, you're the bank. You know that it's your fault. You know that it's just pushing buttons to fix the account. It's not illegal because all the paperwork shows that it is not a business account. Can you just at least allow me to get an ATM on that account so that I can use it? Because I like to keep it. That's a banking reference. No, you'd have to close the account. Now, am I crazy, or do I think that's just not a very high level of customer service? I have a mattress behind me. I'd rather stuff my money in the mattress than give it to someone that says, I can't fix something that we know that is our negligence. And they didn't say it was because it's been so long, or they didn't actually give any type of excuse. They just said, no, thank you for banking. So I've experimented with other banking relationships, and I've opened like a savings account, and I have a credit card with Wells Fargo. And I have a secure credit card where you put some money down, and you pay it on a monthly basis. It builds your credit, all this business, to see how they handle themselves. And every time I go into the bank, there's at least one person to greet you. They let you know where you need to go. They mitigate like who's the next one in line. There's not really even a sign-in list. If you need to go up to the front, they take you and they show you and go, here's the line, and the next person will be available. There's at least one of those people, generally the bank manager, running around at all times, and there's tons of tellers, and there's always tons of people to open secure checking, to talk about mortgage or talk about auto loans and all this. And that's not the case in Chase. So I've had a fantastic experience with Wells Fargo thus far. Every time I go in, everybody's happy. Last time I went into Chase to put some money in the account or to do this and to transfer, is like, they've got Edward cranky pants and they just don't seem like they're really happy to be there. So I just think quality of people, level of customer service, and when I opened my secure credit card and I did these things, they ran through the gamut of calling into customer service and setting up the account, setting up my online account so that I could get everything. They put me on the phone with the online people. We set up everything, and it was just overall a fantastic experience, and it continues to be a fantastic experience. So I wanted to share that with you because I think it's really important. Unless you're going to stuff all your money in a mattress and live in a cave somewhere or just buy gold or trade rocks or whatever it happens to be, you need really good and solid banking relationships. Chase said, no, I know I can't fix this, even though we know it's our fault. And there was no sense of urgency. It was some time had gone by, a couple weeks if I'm not mistaken, like 2 business weeks, like 10 days, before any answer back. It's not that complicated. Push buttons, escalate it to the person that's the director of whatever that needs that to be done, fix it, and say, oh, we're sorry, Mr. Customer, we'd love to have your business. So, well, I keep my Chase accounts, very likely, because the other Chase account I have is pretty old as well. Everybody in general at all the Chase branches have been very, very good. A couple rare occasions, and everybody has a bad day. But everybody at Wells Fargo seems like they have drank the Kool-Aid that morning, and everybody is happy. Not suggesting they do anything inappropriate, but they just seem to be overly happy. Very happy to be in that environment, well treated, well compensated, and everybody I've spoken to is knowledgeable, and they send them for quite periods of time to get education. As I've talked to a couple of them, they actually send them to other branches that have these little rooms. It's like, study, and they test them out, for various things to make sure that they have a competence and they're always up. So they think that I think that Wells Fargo spends a lot more for monetary infrastructure to make sure they have good people, to make sure that they're well educated, to make sure that they are compensated in a way that they are happy to come to work and to do their thing. And the manager at Chase was fantastic, and obviously her hands were tied. She tried to fix it, and she's fixed other accounts like that, but she couldn't get it fixed. And I don't know, that still maybe bugs me a little bit, but more so, would you want to put your money into a bank that knows there's something negligent and they take the shortest, easiest path for them, close the account, open a new one? And yes, that is the simplest thing to do, but that isn't really the core of the issue. Why can't you fix it? I mean, why wouldn't you fix it? That is, to me, that's the core issue of customer service. And what if something other than that happened, something really odd, and something was off? Would you have to jump through hoops instead of the bank servicing you? Why should I do that? I am putting my money in your bank. I am paying your service fees or whatever is going on. I'm being responsible, and this is supposed to be a fair trade. So I just didn't feel like I was getting fair trade. I felt like there was some inequity there. I did close that account because it was basically useless for my intents and purposes. And I even escalated that up to a very high corporate level and left a message. And they called back and they said some of this and some of that, but nobody ever tried to take care of it or took any responsibility. This manager took responsibility, but I never felt like it was escalated within the organization where somebody goes, well, that's not right, and I need to fix that. Well, Wells Fargo, I feel that. You can tell that. If something like that happened at Wells Fargo, I have a feeling it would be fixed in the first request. It might take a couple days or whatever, but it would be escalated to a point where the customer satisfaction is our utmost concern. So that's my ranting and raving for today. I felt compelled to share that. I just think that it's important. Is there anything else that wants to share? No, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for joining me. Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation, coaching life, business, and spiritual. Also retreats, boys and girls. And I'm not suggesting not to bank with Chase are not to bank with Wells Fargo, are to bank with Wells Fargo, are to bank with Chase. That's my experience. Based on that, I use my personal judgment when I'm looking through these things and I'm choosing anything, whether it's like a software application or like a laptop, like a Dell or something like that. Like I look at other experiences and I kind of have that as a general gauge. If I'm gauging like many other experiences that are along that same line, whether good or bad, then I generally make my decision. So I just wanted to put this information out there so that other people can make informed decisions. Coaching, life, business, and spiritual. Also retreats, boys and girls. Don't forget retreats. Important to be within a like-minded vibration, aka me. Yay! If you do like this video, please do like, subscribe, and share. Especially subscribe, boys and girls. And of course, like and everything else is quite welcome. And down below in the description, there are tons of things going on. Tons and tons and tons and tons of things. Like, I think maybe too many things. Find the one that speaks to your heart and not to your head, and you'll find the information you wanted in this lifetime. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you soon. Many new ideas, lots of new things coming out, and there's lots of exciting things in the future for everybody. Yay!